Our names on history's page with expectations great. Strict guardians of our heritage, firm craftsmen of our faith. Thank you.
The Honorable Mia Amor Motley, Prime Minister and Political Leader. The Honorable George Payne, Party Chairman. The Honorable Senator Dr. Jerome Walcott, General Secretary. Members of the Party Executive, Ambassadors, Members of Cabinet, Members of Parliament, Members of the Senate, Members of the Diplomatic Corps, specially invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all.
Good evening. Good evening. Good.
Better.
Yes. Welcome to the 81st Annual Conference of our great party, the Barbados Labour Party. My name is Jamila Burgess.
And my name is Davidson Ishmael, and we will be your MCs for this evening's awards ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sure that you would agree that 81 years is a significant milestone in the life of any individual or institution. 81 years is certainly not 81 weeks. It is certainly not 81 months. There are several political parties that have not even lasted 81 days.
So in this, our 81st year, we chose a theme which accurately reflects what our party has offered our beloved country. That is, a refreshing change for Barbados. As you know, the award ceremony of each annual conference affords us the opportunity to highlight and celebrate the members of our well-established political party.
So we invite you to join us in congratulating the many comrades who will be honored tonight for their outstanding service to our party. We salute you.
Kindly remain standing as we invite Reverend Ian Calridge to bless the evening's proceedings with a word of prayer.
A refreshing change for Barbados. Let us pray. Good and gracious God, who from the beginning of time saw chaos in the world and moved across the waters. From that time, Lord, we recognize that change was a part of human nature. And so we give you thanks for the 81 years of growth and change within this party and this nation. We give you thanks, Lord, for the leadership which you have granted this party and this nation. May we continue to be blessed by such leadership that will manage the change that is and will come by you. We give you thanks also, Lord, for those who would have worked tirelessly over the years, particularly those whom we honor this evening. Bless them and all who they represent by receiving these rewards, the hard work, the labor, the tears. May they grow not weary in their well-doing, but continue to work as for you. As Lord, each work we do for humanity is a work done unto you. We thank you, Lord, for this gathering, all who would come, and that what was discussed at this convention, this conference, may be lived out in our lives beyond. May we work not for ourselves or our society only, but for the broader world in which we find ourselves placed. And may we, Lord, always remember that we are your servants doing your will. Bless us now. This we ask in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Claridge. Before we submerge ourselves into the evening's proceedings, please remain standing and join us as we take a moment of silence in memory of those of our fallen comrades who would have passed during the course of the last year. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I wish to invite our conference chairman, Comrade Kurt Humphrey, and he's going to give you the official welcome to this evening's proceedings.
Good night. I was about to say y'all could clap for that. That was a delayed reaction. We're here to celebrate, yes? Good night, Barbados Labour Party family. Good night. How is everybody doing? Good. Prime Minister, honorable members of the Barbados Labour Party, comrades all, members of the diplomatic corps, my very good friends all. You know, we are called many things when we are politicians, but one of my favorite words, believe it or not, is comrade. And we are all comrades, and that levels the playing field. Comrades, how y'all feeling? Barbados Labour Party family, how y'all feeling? We know feeling like the BLP. You know, it is a privilege for me to chair this 81st annual conference. Not everybody gets to chair the conference, and I felt it was an honor and a privilege, and I feel I must begin, first of all, by thanking the team that has worked with me to make this happen. We did not stumble upon this. Do you all think the place looks nice? Well, give them a round of applause, huh? It is a lot of teamwork that got us to this point, and none of us, you know, get anywhere in life thinking that we get there on our own. The Barbados Labour Party hasn't gone this far without the work and the support of all of y'all. So really and truly, we take this opportunity to thank all of you for being such great members of this great party. Give yourselves a round of applause too. So it is not by accident that this whole night happened. It is not by accident that we should return to Queen's Park either. You know, Queen's Park holds a special place in the Labour Party heart. You know, Granny Adams made some pronouncements here. Battles were fought here. For us, we determined we wanted to be an open, honest government. It is right there, a few steps away from the Parliament building where we go to serve you every single day. It is not by chance that we are here. We also remember a few years ago, about 2 years ago, we came here and we had a wonderful, joyous celebration. And we just want to celebrate with the Barbados Labour Party family because we believe we are doing a good work in your name, yes? But the party does not stumble upon 81 years either. You know, we have done in the last few years a number of great things. This party has a lot of things of which it can be thankful, for which we could all be thankful, for which Barbados could be thankful. To be the oldest party in the Anglophone Caribbean is a big, big task. You know, those of us who have the honor to be members of this party, we are part of something special, and don't you ever, ever forget it. This Labour Party is a special, special party. And all of us are members of the party. And my favorite word for the night and for the next 3 days is comrade. And we are all comrades, yes? And we came here to celebrate. And as a government, we did not get here by accident either. And I do not wish to turn this into anything major about our politics, but at the end of the day, we are just over a year in government, and we are significantly further ahead than we were when we took the office of government. Thanks to the leadership of our Honourable Prime Minister, Ms. Mia Motley. Give her a round of applause too. So I intend to be brief because you'll be seeing me a lot during the course of the next 3 days. But all I came to say this evening is welcome, welcome, welcome. Let us get together and have a good time. Thank you very much and good night.
I invite Lieutenant Colonel, the Honorable Jeffery Bostick, to offer the opening remarks.
Prime Minister and political leader, colleagues, members of the diplomatic corps, comrades all, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, good evening. My task is a very pleasant one here this evening, as I welcome you on behalf of the good constituents of the city of Bridgetown. And I do so not only as a member of parliament for this city, but as the only sheriff of the city. And to say to one and all, as you will recognize over the next couple of days, that the city of Bridgetown is alive and well. We are gathered here in a place that can be considered as one of the ancestral homes of the Barbados Labour Party. Several policies were articulated on these grounds, and it is my sincere hope that the spirits of those who've gone before will be with us this weekend as we continue the journey, as we continue to stay the course, to refresh and to rebuild. And I'm sure that as the city of Bridgetown begins to transform, that this will signal the transformation of this entire country, something that the Barbados Labour Party promised and something that the Barbados Labour Party government will deliver. So I hope that you will enjoy the weekend, ensure that you are here each day, participate, socialize, and let's show the rest of Barbados that the Barbados Labour Party is in the city of Bridgetown. I thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff and Lieutenant Colonel, Honorable Jeffery Bostick. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear some noise from those of you who love the Barbados Labour Party. That's not good enough. We can do better than that. This is a party of excellence. So let me hear some noise for those of you who love the Barbados Labour Party. Yeah, I think they heard that somewhere down the road. That's good. Fantastic. At this point in time then, and that gives me a good intro into the next item. And we have our party chairman, Comrade George Payne, and he will also come and give you an address at this point in time. Let's welcome and put our hands together for our chairman.
Good afternoon, comrades. Good afternoon, comrades. Oh, I've now heard it. Madam Prime Minister, Cabinet, members of Cabinet, officers and members of the Barbados Labour Party, friends of the Barbados Labour Party, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. The year 2019 has been a challenging year for Barbados and the Barbados Labour Party after the debacle of the lost decade brought on by the poor management of the affairs of Barbados by a corrupt Democratic Labour Party government. And it may well be that the visions espoused in our covenant of hope, trumpeted in the results of the last general election, are now coming to fruition, embellished somewhat by the arrival of a new team of thinkers, gender-based and all, who have captured the imagination, hearts and minds of all Barbadians in the 30 trenches of this little island called Barbados. It can therefore be argued that the refreshing change was ushered in on the 24th of May, 2018, when Hurricane Mia and her troops descended on the corridors of hope, armed with a mandate from the people to transform this country into a society befitting of the modern technological era. However, the damage inflicted by the brutal DLP regime and their cronies was synonymous to a patient beaten to a pulp and left bleeding and abandoned at the roadside with no hope of recovery. However, thanks to the medical team of Comrades Maskell, Persaud, and Greenwich, marshaled by Prime Minister Motley and our darling cabinet colleagues, Minister Strawn and Minister Cattle, we have been able to revive the patient and can now proudly chart the course for recovery. We are happy to report that the operation has been successful, but we have to ensure that the patient does not die. Hence, the new beginning of refreshing change. Additionally, the past year has been a year of reflection, not just bemoaning the sins of the Dems or the recognition of our advancing years, but the reality is that the political climate and doing business in today's world is far removed from what it was in the past. Failing to recognize this was one of the fundamental weaknesses and failures of the last administration. In 1991, when I first entered Parliament, tackling the vagaries of corruption, climate change, alternative energy, the social media, and the drug culture were either non-existent or not a priority. In addition, the perennial issues of crime and violence, housing, transportation, education, health, garbage collection, and religion have now taken on a new dimension. Going to cabinet with just a laptop and innovation by this Prime Minister was a signal to all of us that a refreshing change was on the horizon. We are now in transition and must prepare ourselves for the challenges attendant with any new dispensation. We are entering a period of history which is seeing a dramatic change in the world political thought and the balance of power. The arrival of Donald Trump in the United States of America, the maneuverings of Vladimir Putin in the Ukraine, the confusion being created in Britain over Brexit, the uprising in Hong Kong, the ambitions of President Erdogan in the Middle East from his perch in Turkey, the greed of superpower vultures targeting Africa's wealth, all seem to have given democracy and governance a new meaning. Here in the Caribbean, we have been shielded from the turmoil of the world stage, but we must never forget the Grenada experience. In Barbados, our sojourn to the International Monetary Fund would have taught us that we are part of a global village to which we must turn in the bad times and to whom we will be an example in the good times. Knowing what is happening in the wider world around us and drawing from their experiences must, as we go forward, be the pillar on which a refreshing change will be grounded. As I take my leave as chairman, I would like to thank all those who have been instrumental in my election to the chairmanship of this great party over the years. It has certainly been a rich, stimulating experience, and I must admit that I cannot think of one better moment during my tenure. The relationships that I forged with the rank and file, members of the National Council, and more recently my cabinet colleagues have reinforced my faith in the finer qualities of human nature. I take comfort in being shielded and saved by the term limits in a constitution which I had the pleasure of formulating together with my colleague Sir Richard Cheltenham. I now look forward to giving the new chairman every ounce of my support as together with the political leader, he charts the path for a refreshing change. In closing, to those of you being honored today, I would like to remind you that you are now the recognized standard bearers for this great party. In making this presentation to you, we are honoring the legacy of the Right Excellent Sir Grantley Herbert Adams and the founding fathers of this party, who made tremendous sacrifices to ensure that all of us were given the right to vote. In this connection, the achievement of Ermi Bourne in 1951 as the first woman to be elected to the House of Assembly looms large on the horizon. I thank you.
Thank you very much. You will not see my name on the program, but I could not allow the chairman to take his seat without coming to the platform and asking him to return to the platform with me so that I can appropriately thank him for 3 years of brilliant chairmanship and partnership. Let us not take for granted the road that we have walked. And I want those of you who belong to this great institution, and this tent is full as far as the eye can see, George, to all stand and to give George Payne our gratitude for 3 brilliant years as chairman. Hip hip, hip hip, hip hip.
BLB family, let us welcome to the stage. I want you to give a round of applause and welcome the reigning Calypso monarch of the Society of the Blind Calypso competition, Mr. DJ Grenville Carter. Please welcome him.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I feel very elated to be here tonight, and most of all to be a part of this wonderful team with my Prime Minister, Mayor Amor Motley leading. I want to just finish by saying, when others could not find a solution, this Prime Minister, my Prime Minister, and a wonderful team have found solutions to problems that others could not solve.
Let me show you the lady that gave me this.
Tonight, I bring to you a song called The Solution. Used to be living peacefully, hardly making noise, nor fight, nor fuss. Then all the drugs came and changed up the game for all of we here in Barbados. Doggy, doggy policy, right now here no lie. No willing to share the pie, and the youth getting high. All the weed and the cocaine, it mashing up all them brain. It seems like the whole country gone insane. But I have the solution. Woo! This you could guarantee for all drug-related murder happening in this country. Man, I say bring back Kojak or reintroduce the cat, 'cause we can't do it alone. All them bad men, he will deal with them and bring back stability to be whole. Man, I say bring back Kojak, create a job for he. He has the solving ability. When they make their play, he will put them away and bring back peace to this sweet country. I like banana, bam, 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 bam. From January, it was plain to see, killing in Barbados reach a new high. Gunmen on the loose, ain't care about no juice. So many innocent people die. Imagine 6% goods past security, 94% making a scotch-free entry. People about him making sport, playing blind and dumb, and asking me where all the guns coming from. But I have the solution. Woo! This you could guarantee for all drug-related murder
Man, I say bring back Kojak or reintroduce the cat. Cause we can't do it alone. All them bad men, he will deal with them and bring back stability to we. Oh, man, I say bring back Kojak, create a job for he. He has the solving ability. When they make their play, he will put them away and bring back peace to we sweet country. Oh, banana, bam, bam, banana, na, na. I remember when my time I was spent walking about the place both day and night. I'm blind already, and you all could see. To do it today will not be right. I went inside Sheraton very peacefully. A gunman come inside there and nearly shoot me. No posy, I staying home, you could guarantee. I only leave it to win the monarchy. Cause I have the solution. This you could guarantee. For all who trouble the disabled, right here in this country. Man, I say bring back Kojak or reintroduce the cat. Cause we can't do it alone. All them bad men, he will deal with them and bring back stability to we. Oh, man, I say bring back Kojak, create a job for he. He has the solving ability. When they make their play, he will put them away and bring back peace to we sweet country. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am body day, da 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 do. Bam bam body dum bam 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 da dum ba. Woo! Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. DJ Granville Carter, put your hands together. The reigning Calypso monarch of the Society of the Blind Calypso competition. You can do better than that. Put your hands together for Mr. DJ. Solutions, solutions, solutions. Unlike others who use the word solutions, the Barbados Little Party is a party of solutions. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So at this point in time, we want to ask our comrade, Marsha Cattle. And she will, at this point in time, come and do the introduction of our featured and guest speaker. Put your hands together for Comrade Marsha Cattle.
Prime Minister and political leader, Mr. Chairman, General Secretary, Cabinet colleagues, parliamentary colleagues, distinguished awardees this evening, specially invited guests, comrades all, Barbados Labour Party family, good evening. A couple years ago, I heard about a prime minister who had resigned. And it was not the one that we all hoped would resign. That person was a young woman who had been Prime Minister of the National Youth Parliament, and who, on a matter of principle, on the basis of a fact that a document that was the subject of an important human rights issue in this country was not going to be considered by the government of the day. By that time, Rashanna had been Prime Minister of the Youth Parliament for 3 years, from 2014 to 2017. And she took a principled position that made me and several other people stand up and take notice. We in this Barbados Labour Party with our covenant of hope, have determined that it is important to know who you are, what you stand for, and what you will do in the name of those people that you represent. And these principles and this idea was obviously very important to Rashanna Trim. But not only that, we have been talking for the last 16 months as a government, as a Barbados Labour Party, about the importance of giving back, the importance of youth and volunteerism, and about the fact that 30 people alone, 29 people alone, cannot ourselves hold this country up and bring this country along. And we need all Barbadians to have a spirit of civic engagement and of giving back. And much of our policy is based on that. Rashanna exemplifies this ideal. And shortly after hearing that she had taken this principled position, I had the privilege of delivering shortly after the Grantley Adams Memorial Lecture. And those of us who were putting the event together thought that Rashanna would be a voice on that occasion from which we should hear. And so we asked her to come and share at the end of the talk. And she was an outstanding voice, as she has continued to be. She has continued to be a young woman who shows up for every occasion, who is a true member of this Barbados Labour Party, who has been a true friend of the campaign, and who has never said no to the opportunity to come and share, to come and reflect on what it is to be a young person in this Caribbean, in this Barbados today. Rashanna has lived here for the last 21 years. She has harnessed her voice nationally and regionally to advocate on issues facing young people living in Barbados, such as civic participation, mental health, unemployment, education, sexuality, and discrimination. She represented Barbados in the 39th and 40th Conference of the Caribbean, the Americas, and the Atlantic region of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. Rashanna has been involved in youth-led organizations for 6 years and now serves as the president of the Barbados Youth Development Council. She's also the chair of the National Youth Policy Coordinating Committee. She's also the program coordinator for the newly launched Pink Parliament Initiative, which she co-founded with the aim of increasing the number of women in Parliament by providing mentorship to girls ages 14 to 20. She is a 2019 IMF Youth Fellow and just participated in the IMF Civil Society Organization Forum in Washington, D.C. She is a student of the University of the West Indies Cave campus, reading for a Bachelor's of Science in International Relations. Rashanna believes strongly in the power of youth to create change and lives by the motto, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. Rashanna Trim is my little sister. She's my friend. She's my comrade. She is our colleague. Please welcome Rashanna Trim to address you this evening.
We write our names on history's page with expectations great, strict guardians of our heritage, firm craftsmen of our fate. As we celebrate 81 years as a political party, we celebrate 81 years of people-centric representation and enfranchisement, a legacy of the founders of the Barbados Labour Party, immortalizing the names that we all know so well: Martineau, Brathwaite, Adams, Cummins, Payne, Crawford, Talma, and Stevens. We celebrate another year as a political party and stand on the cusp of our second year as a government. It gives me great pleasure to address you at the 81st conference of the Barbados Labour Party under the theme BLP 2019, A Breath of Fresh Air. The Honorable Mia Amor Motley, Prime Minister and political leader, the Honorable George Payne, Party Chair, the Honorable Senator Jerome Walcott, General Secretary, members of the party executive, specially invited guests, awardees, members of Parliament, members of Senate, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, good evening. When history's pages are turned by future generations of Barbadians, many of these pages will be imprinted by the red of successive generations of leaders and visionaries that have come before us and still walk among us. The May 2018 election was one that called Barbadians to get on board with a leader and a group of people whose policies and ideals were based on the premise of the rule of law, respect, fairness, and equity. It asks that in a time of paranoia, panic, and anxiety, that they ground themselves in the established vision and mission of the Barbados Labour Party. Comrades, I am happy that they did. From St. Lucie to St. Philip, they trusted that our legacy of commitment to Barbadians would change the flow of the tide and allow for them to breathe easy while understanding that the future of this great nation required a breath of fresh air. It requires that we stay rooted in the precepts of good governance, that we stay rooted in pride and industry, and that we seek to be transformative and innovative in our approach to governance. May 25th, 2018 was a historical election of firsts, with the election of Mia Amor Motley, the first woman to be elected Prime Minister in Barbados, and the first clean sweep in the history of Barbados. After years of struggling to breathe and survive under poor policies and maladministration, the deficiency of creative ideas, continuous downgrades, and shrinking foreign reserves, Barbadians understood what needed to be done. We remained stuck in a bad and unended dream, suffocated by the breath of slow build of taxes and shrinking fiscal room, the dismantling of social nets and systems of empowerment, a low of 5-week international reserves at $220 million US dollars. And a 500% increase in the contribution of students to university tuition, and a drop in the number of Barbadian students accessing tertiary level education, and continuous downgrades for Barbadians, our home, our pride, our industry. This is what we breathed, and this is what we inherited. When I came to Barbados with my parents many years ago, I was too young to understand the opportunities that this small island offered us. I am not certain that my parents foresaw the opportunities that I and my siblings would be given and benefit from. But I do know that, like many others, they came to Barbados because, if nothing else, Barbados offered hope for a better tomorrow. The privilege tonight is not one that escapes me, and I have no plans of being long-winded, yet I hope my message is clear. That the legacy of the BLP is and has always been a team effort. That while there is a team serving in office, that a team must also work the ground. And while the team of 29 is working in office, we must work the ground as a party. Breathing may get difficult because we have a steep climb, but hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, we can rebuild a Barbados where all Barbadians are free to dream, dare, and deliver. This is our legacy, breathing new life into the social, economic, and political landscape of Barbados, the upliftment of every Barbadian regardless of sex, class, race, religion, and political party has to continue to remain our #1 priority and mandate. It is through the philosophy of One Barbados, a Barbados where all Barbadians can thrive and succeed, that we as the BLP have played a major role in lifting thousands of people out of poverty and building a modern Barbados. From inception to 2019, every administration of the Barbados Labour Party has built on this legacy. It is under the BLP that schools like Princess Margaret, St. Leonard's, and start of free secondary school education. This party doubled spaces at SJPP, BCC, and UE, and promoted the policy of a UE graduate in every household to lift families out of poverty and stimulate empowerment and national development. This is the party that built polyclinics, improved the working conditions of workers in Barbados, introduced holiday with pay and maternity leave and maternity benefits. This is the party that started the trade union movement and introduced the Tenantry Freehold Purchase Act, giving land ownership to ordinary Barbadians. This is the party that outlawed the concept of bastardy and illegitimacy and gave all children equal legal rights and inheritance. This party started the offshore financial services. This party will transform our maritime sector through a comprehensive plan that will see the Caribbean Sea as both a symbolic representation of our shared unity as Caribbean people and as an avenue where the blue economy can thrive. Comrades, the BLP is the party that will allow Barbadians the opportunity and the space to breathe a new and refreshing air, and we have been doing it for just over a year. Our legacy is one of inclusion. Barbados' first female parliamentarian was elected under this party. The bus service, civil service, fire service, and police force were open to women, and the first female permanent secretaries and senior female leaders in these institutions were appointed, as well as the first woman in cabinet. This party has had more women as candidates and appointed more women to the Senate and cabinet than any other party. A legacy in this party is emphasized a zero tolerance for the discrimination and shown in the reduction of mother-to-child transmission of HIV and AIDS by 95%, and the establishment of the Caribbean's first hostel for persons living with HIV and AIDS. This is the party of economic enfranchisement and has created the most jobs, highest foreign reserves, and highest ever employment in Barbados. This is our legacy. This legacy is why young people rallied around the Barbados Party in 2018 election. Because at the point which we felt stifled, the BLP listened to our concerns and were willing to implement these solutions to make this country habitable, fair, and just. That change was rooted in the seeds sown by our great forefathers, seeds of possibility, seeds that didn't care if you were from the Payne or Britton's Hill, Ellerton or Pike Corner, you could achieve your greatest potential. These seeds are still rooted and thriving. However, in the 21st century, our legacy demands that we once again rebuild, restore, and transform Barbados across the length and breadth of 166 square miles and within the international arena. BLP 2019, a breath of fresh air. In 2018, when the Prime Minister announced her cabinet 2 days after winning the general election and announced the creation of a Ministry of Maritime Affairs and the Blue Economy, many wondered what it was. I did as well. But this breath of fresh air offers an underutilized sector as well as places greater focus on economic preservation, the establishment of marine managed areas to restore marine life and restrict activity to allow for marine research and the conservation of marine resources and ecosystems. The commitment to the preservation of life underwater is critical to any plan for national development in Barbados. And it is seen by the speeches and diplomatic advocacy like that of the Prime Minister at the UN General Assembly and the work of the Ministry of the Blue Economy. You just need to check social media, as a matter of fact, and you will see the Minister, the Honorable Kurt Humphrey, engaging more advanced countries in blue economy and deepening partnerships with the international community and organizations. The ministry will allow for new berths and jetties and the creation of new industries such as boat building, net making, fish processing, aquaculture, pharmaceuticals, and marine-based cosmetics. The dedication for us to breathe fresher is also wound in our drive to fossil fuel Barbados by 2030. As we talk about what is next, the focus by Minister Abrams on alternative sources of energy is critical to ensuring that our development protects our greatest resources, our people and our environment. The appointment of Senator Payne as the Minister of Innovation declares that to young people boldly that Barbados is catching up with the global digital revolution. This is how we breathe easier in the 21st century, from Easy Pay to Smart Week, making us an active citizen in the global village. The launch of a regulatory sandbox for businesses further affords us opportunities to spur innovation and growth. Barbados is open for business. The truth is that while I've highlighted those, our government has definitely done so much more. I don't have the time to get into all of it, but we have done way more in perhaps the last 15 months than we saw done in 10 years. Upward and onward we shall go, inspired, exalting, free, and greater will our nation grow in strength and unity. The future is nebulous. What is next is clear. We stand on the shoulders of greatness. We pave the way for a revolutionary. The Barbados Labour Party has always been the government of now, next, and new. Over the next 5 years, and if the will of Barbadians, and we have the government for longer, and I trust that we will, our task will remain the same. The building of a Barbados that is fit for purpose and future-proof, making it the best place for Barbadians to live, learn, create, do business, play, work, raise children, and dream. 2018 to 2023 is definitely a defining point in our history as a country, but also as a party. This party, from inception, was never built on the dreams and desires of one person, but rather on each and every one of us, working together as comrades and Barbadians. Tonight, I want to say that this is a mission to recapture Barbados that was said to be punching above its weight. This is a collective mission that calls for all of us to put our feet 10 toes down. The journey has to be made by every single one of us. This is a journey for the future of Barbados and our children and grandchildren and great-grands. We cannot, as a party, forge ahead if we are not focused on the mission. Our legacy cannot be built on feuds, and it cannot be built on malice and confusion and who got what and who didn't. Tonight, we need to get real. If we get too comfortable, If we forget that this is not the end, but rather a checkpoint in the development of a nation, we will lose the battle and inevitably the war. We are fighting for our country. The results of the May 2018 election was an investment, a vote of confidence in the vision and mandate of the Barbados Labour Party. It will not do for us to destroy ourselves from within. We cannot jump ship at this point. We cannot abandon our mission as we steer through the unexplored waters of the 21st century. This assignment is too important. Our cargo is too precious. BLP 2019, a breath of fresh air. The Barbados Labour Party offers hope. It says to me and to other young people that if we believe in the vision of a global Barbados, that this party will lead us there. This party says that if we give of ourselves to our country, it will give us back tenfold. This is the party that will bet on Barbados over and over each and every time. This is the party of hope. This is the People's Party, and I hope that, like me, each and every one of you is still on board and will remain on board. Thank you.
Comrade Trim, please. Comrade Trim, not so fast, not so fast, not fast. We'll ask you to stay on the stage, and at this time we're going to invite our comrade Ricardo Blackman, and he will make a presentation to our guest speaker for the evening. Comrade Ricardo Blackman.
Madam Prime Minister, members of the Diplomatic Corps, awardees, members of the Barbados Labour Party family, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's with an abundance of pleasure that on behalf of the President of our Conference Planning Committee, Comrade Kirk Humphrey, and other members of the committee, I present a token of our appreciation for what has been a most stimulating, thought-provoking presentation. I must say that I particularly liked Rashanna's emphasis on the legacy of our great party and the call to action. So without any further ado, I now make the presentation of our token. Rashanna, on behalf of the Conference Planning Committee of the 81st Annual Conference, it gives me great pleasure to present this token of appreciation to you on an excellent presentation this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Blackman. Just as a reminder and just to inform you, for those of you who may not know or may not have been aware, immediately after our awards presentation this evening, we will be having the BLP in concert. We'll be having members of the Barbados Labour Party. We're speaking of your cabinet members. We're speaking of your members of parliament who will be entertaining you this evening in many different ways. I'm sure many of your interests have been piqued. Many of you want to know who will be singing, who will be dancing, who will be juggling, who will be doing magic. And there may be some other things you're wondering, but just stay around after our awards ceremony this evening, and I'm sure you will be thoroughly entertained. BLP Giving Back Concert, BLP in concert. So stay tuned and be entertained. I also want to inform you, before we continue on in the proceedings, that this year you can find our booklet online. The booklet that you usually get, your annual conference booklet that you will receive. Some of you may receive tonight, some of you will receive tomorrow when you come for our business day. But I want to let you know that you should take this web address down so that you can access it even from your smartphones this evening. Are you ready? Yes, yes, yes. It is https:// blpconference.com. https:// blpconference.com. And you can have your own electronic version of our annual conference booklet right in your hands this evening. Thank you very much.
Are we enjoying the evening thus far? Y'all don't sound so at all. Y'all letting me down. Are we enjoying the evening thus far? Great. Now, we turn our attention to the award segment of the evening. And first up, we want to highlight the constituency and league awardees and welcome Comrade Neil Rowe to the stage to assist with those presentations. Comrade Neil Rowe.
So ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a little bit of guidance, we are here to celebrate awardees tonight. We're here to celebrate fellow comrades. So as your comrades come up, and many of you are here from the respective branches, so as your people come up, we want you to really be shouting and screaming and yelling on their behalf during the course of the presentations. So please put your hands together and give a rousing level of support for all of our awardees this evening. And we start with Christchurch East. Christchurch East is in the house. Comrade Kimberly Gittins has been involved in politics from a very tender age, being a member of the Barbados Labour Party for the past 18 years. As secretary of the Christchurch East branch for the past 2 years, she is proud of her contribution to the development of the branch and of the role she has played in securing victory for the MP for the area, Comrade Wilfred Abrams, in the general elections of May 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Christchurch East awardee, Miss Kimberly Gittins. We move to Christchurch East Central. Christchurch East Central. Comrade Yvonne Scanterbury's involvement with the Christchurch East Central branch dates back to 1961, when she first started attending branch meetings. She is a helpful and dependable member who can be called upon at any time to serve, and she is willing to canvass with the MP, Mr. Ryan Strawn, to aid him at any times in his victory. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together for Comrade Yvonne Scanterbury, Christchurch East Central awardee for 2019. And we're moving over to Christchurch South. Christchurch South. Comrade Veronica Glenn is a real stalwart of our branch. She has been a member since the 1980s, and she has served on the branch committee for over 25 years. She is a tireless worker and has been zone captain of the Oisin/Welsh's area for many, many years. Even after becoming a partial amputee, she continued her canvassing duties in the last elections of 2018. So ladies and gentlemen, we really want to put our hands together for the dedication and the commitment shown by our comrade Veronica Glenn as she receives the 2019 award for Christchurch South. Comrade Veronica Glenn. Sherlock Farrell. And we have Mr. Comrade Sherlock Farrell receiving on behalf of Veronica Glenn. Thank you, Comrade Farrell. Christchurch West, Arlie Thorpe. Comrade Arlie Thorpe has been a member of the Barbados Labour Party for 43 years. I hope you're noticing how long we've had serving members. Beyond giving of his time to serve Christchurch West, his home has been used as campaign headquarters on more than one occasion. Comrade Thorpe has served the branch in the capacity of President, Vice President, National Council Representative, Area Representative, Box Captain, and currently he stands as the treasurer of that branch. So ladies and gentlemen, put our hands together for the Christchurch West awardee for 2019, Comrade Arlie Thorpe. Christchurch West Central. Comrade David Carter has become known to the Christchurch West Central branch as the man of many wonders. He is one of the long-standing members of the Barbados Labour Party and is always ready to contribute to any and all of its events. Comrade Carter is the president of the Christchurch West Central branch and is always there when needed the most. Ladies and gentlemen, and I want to give him a special congratulations as he is now David Carter, JP. David Carter, JP. We're moving out to St. Philip. St. Philip North. Comrade Erla Udine Griffith has been a strong supporter of the Barbados Labour Party for 47 years, from the age of 18 years old. She attends all branch meetings and community activities in St. Philip North. During her service to the party, she has canvassed with David Simmons, Sir David Simmons now, Kathy Greenidge, and Honourable Indar Weir as they sought the St. Philip North seat. She is being recognized this evening for her outstanding contributions not only to the branch, but to our beloved party. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Comrade Erla Griffith, the awardee from St. Philip North. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. dedicated service to our party. St. Philip South. Comrade Alan Fields joined the Barbados Labour Party in 1975. Comrade Fields is now 72 years old, but has not missed many branch meetings in St. Philip South over the years. In addition, he has always been very actively involved in getting people to the polls during election time. So ladies and gentlemen, for his hard work, his dedication, his commitment and service to his branch, St. Philip South awardee for 2019 is Comrade Alan Fields. I hope that when I turn 72, I look as good as you. I'll try. Moving on to St. Philip West. A lover of gardening, Comrade Rudolph MacDonald Boyce returned to Barbados in 1996 and opened his business at Woodburn Kennels in St. Philip, where it still operates to this day. Apart from being a committed member of the Barbados Labour Party, he keeps busy with his digital music. So all the way from St. Philip West and this year's 2019 awardee, put your hands together and welcome and congratulate Comrade Rudolph Boyce. We're moving into St. George. Anybody here from St. George?